everyone, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. It is time for the field test on the Survive Knives GSO 10. I've had a chance to really get out here, thrash on this thing, use and abuse this blade, and today we're going to get out there. I'm going to show you the footage of what we put this knife through and show you its capabilities, its pros and cons, because every knife is going to have some great pros and every knife is going to have a few cons. So I'm going to show those to you and then hopefully help you make a decision on whether or not the GSO 10 is the right knife for you. So let's get out there. I'll give you a couple basic specs and then we'll begin to use this blade. All right, so let me give you a couple basic specs here on the GSO 10 and then we'll get out there and begin to use this blade. What you have is a steel of CPM 3V, which I have already previously used with my GSO 5, and I got to say that Survive Knives does an awesome job with their CPM 3V. It has a Rockwell harness of 59, and they do an amazing heat treat over there. This thing will hold its edge literally for months, guys, before you have to resharpen it. It will be somewhat of a pain in the butt to resharpen in the field. At home, no problem. If you got a couple ceramic rods and different stuff to work with, you can really get that factory edge back on it. But if out in the field, you'll get a working edge if you needed to, but it will not. You won't probably get a hair-popping edge on it unless you basically bring your whole sharpening kit with you and spend a lot of time on it out there in the field. So it is very shock resistant though, and it is a high carbon, but it does not pick up rust very well at all, which is awesome. That's a really good thing. It's a really good thing that it doesn't pick up rust and you can wipe it right off. You can go over to Survive Knives and see that type of stuff. They've done a lot of hard use tests to show you how easy it is to clean off the rust on a CPM 3V blade. So from the handle scales to the tip is 10 inches. Actual cutting edge is 9.5. Weighs in at 19.5 ounces plus the sheath. My Carta handle scales, full tang. It is 3/16 of an inch thick. An amazing drop point design. Saber grind, so it goes up about 3/4 of the way. Then it hits that saber grind there. And yeah, just pretty sick design. Now let's get out there and begin to use the blade and see how it performs.
All right, everybody, so what you're about to see is a bunch of chopping that I originally did with the lanyard through the hidden lanyard hole back here. And what you're about to see is that this does not chop well with the lanyard back here. And if you look on Survive's website, Guy says that he did not design this knife to be a heavy-duty chopper, which is kind of hard for me to swallow because that's why I would want a 10-inch knife, is so that I could really do some really heavy-duty chopping. So he really did not design it with hard chopping in mind. He designed it to be able to do some medium to light chopping, as well as, you know, span really large logs and do some of that and do really good carving and whittling as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first off the chopping with the lanyard back here so you can get an idea of how this just wants to slide out of your hand real quick. But I discovered a really awesome free way to mod this thing that I believe is going to make this an amazing chopper for you, but with a very simple mod. So let's go ahead and watch the first set of chopping with the lanyard back here.
So again, you can see huge chunks are going, but this is how my hand is after that set that you just saw. All the way back here, and the knife is definitely wanting to fly out of my hand. Even when I get a really high grip, the knife is all the way out of my hand now. So I would agree with what Guy said. It's basically a 10-inch knife that is designed to be able to handle really wide logs for batoning and light chopping tasks. This would be like the max I would ever chop with this size of tree, about 5 inches. And even then, there are better knife handle constructions. The blade is doing amazing. This blade with the saber grind is doing awesome. The handle, though, is not really well designed for that compared to, say, an SP, 51, a Hungalis, or of course a BK9, an amazing handle for chopping. This definitely wants to fly out of your hand. So there we go, timber, boom. So you got to ask yourself, is a GSO 10 worth it for yourself? You got to ask yourself that, because this is not designed to chop like some of those other really heavy duty choppers. It's designed to be able to do some chopping tasks, do a lot of big batoning tasks, and then do a lot of small whittling, carving, tent pegs, and be able to handle that really well, this GSO 10.
Okay, so you've seen how this really isn't that great a chopper. About every 3 swings you got to reset. So I was thinking, what could I do to modify this? And so what I did was just get a piece of paracord, made an individual loop, okay? Then all you do is feed it around this large finger choil that is awesome for carving,
and you feed it through and you wrap it around the spine. And this is super secure around the spine. And now you have the lanyard attached to the front of the knife versus the back of the knife. And I can easily grab it. And now this will not, you see that? That's not going anywhere. And that's going to keep my hand really nice and locked in and secure and keep it from wanting to fly, the knife wanting to fly out of my hand. So let's go ahead, do some chopping on this piece of wood, and I'll show you what I mean. Look at that. And I'm not wanting to reset at all. That bit in so deep. There we go. Look at that, huge chunk, 3 swings, boom. It's already more than halfway through, and I am not wanting to reset. It's locked into place there, and I can go swinging all day long with this GSO 10 now. And it is a freaking wilderness lightsaber. Oh my gosh, it is literally revolutionized the chopping capability of the GSO 10 by simply doing this very simple mod right here. So I really hope that you guys over at Survive Knives, if you watch this video, all you have to do is drill us a 4th hole right here over the finger choil so that we could run paracord through there, and this would be an amazing wilderness chopper. I mean, this thing, boom, look at that. And again, I'm not wanting to reset. My hand is right there, locked in. Literally has just revolutionized this chopper. Just stays on there. Look at that. So that entire time I didn't have to reset my grip one time with the GSO 10, purely with that free modification, just wrapping some paracord around that finger choil, locking it into place, and you can still use the finger choil. You can still go to town. You just, the whole time you're planning on using your GSO 10, do your lanyard like that, you're good to go, and literally makes this thing a wilderness lightsaber. Okay, we're gonna do a tent peg here and just see the carving capabilities of GSO 10. So, one swing, boom, takes out about a 1/2 inch little branch right there. Now let's go ahead and start to get to work to make a tent peg. Okay, so we're gonna make the snare or paracord notch first. Just do a little bit of chopping right there. Don't want to go all the way through. You can just see how with hardly any effort I'm getting that real nice little chopping done right there. This is for the notch part of it. We'll go about 1/3 of the way. You don't want to go too far, then you'll make the peg too weak. So this might be good right about, yeah, right about there. Sweet. Okay, kind of do a little bit of an angle, and then we'll do a little bit just up here at the tip. Do some push cuts. You can see there how easy it is to do this. Now I could definitely not do this very well with any Ontario. You know, an SP53 and SP51, not going to happen. BK9, it could probably do it, but it's got that clip point, so it's uncomfortable to do something like this. And my hand would be very fatigued right now, but because of the finger choil and the no thumb ramp, it is extremely comfortable to do a move like this. So very easy. Then we'll just clear out some of that fuzz, chop that away. Very nice, very nice. Cool. So there's that part. Now let's go ahead and do some other cutting on the other end to make that nice spike. Okay, so we're on the other end here of that peg, making a nice angle to drive into the ground. And again, I can do this so easily because of the grind angle. I mean, it's doing the same job that my GSO 5 does, but obviously it's 10 inches long. Because of that nice finger choil right here and then 0 thumb ramp, I'm really able to get a good grip. And even though it's 19 ounces in weight, it doesn't feel like that when I'm using the blade, particularly in tasks like this, trying to, you know, do finer work. it's able to handle the finer work better than honestly any of my other 9 to 10 inch blades. It just feels like a smaller knife, even though it's not a small knife. So there we go. I kind of work here near the end just a little bit more. Don't want to make it too weak. There we go. Sweet. Now let's go ahead and hammer it in. There we go. Nice. Real good. I can run my paracord or my snare wire right through that notch right there. Good pommel too for that hammering type of stuff. Very easy to do with your GSO 10. Nice. You know, this blade is 3/16 of an inch thick, so it's not a 1/4 inch thick, but it will absolutely split wood really well. Just as good as an RTAC 2 or an SE Hungalis. My BK9, because of the saber grind, that awesome drop point right here is going to be really easy on my batoning stick, making this a fantastic blade to go through medium logs to large logs very easily without too much difficulty at all. Now, an SP51 or an SP53 is definitely going to be a better batoner just because of how thick they are, but this is really, really nice at batoning. Oh yeah, check that out. Awesome. That's why saber grinds rock, and the GSO 10 is no exception to that rule. Okay, let's look at the sheath here, the Kydex sheath with the GSO 10. Really nice wide Kydex, very good quality. You can get all sorts of different colors. The loop that they use, the Kydex loop over there at Survive Knives, which is really nice, independent loops of each other that can either attach to a belt, and you can see there most pistol belts will be able to fit on there, large leather belts, things like that, as well as you can feed these through MOLLE, and they'll very securely attach to any sort of MOLLE pack or vest. I don't know if you could fit this on a tactical vest, but if you needed to and wanted to, you could do that. It is adjustable left or right for those of you lefties out there. And then tons of lashing points for paracord. I believe you can also get BLADEHQ locks to adjust on some of these. Really nice drainage hole all the way through so that it's not going to catch any water in there. Zero rattle. See there, nothing. Really good large thumb ramp right there. I got a really good grab on the blade. Can pull it out, begin to use the knife, click it back into place, you're good to go. So for this knife, I mean, a great, amazing Kydex sheath. All right, everybody, so you've seen the GSO 10 in action. Definitely when it comes to carving and whittling and batoning, I mean, it's great. It does awesome and a lot better than any of my other large fixed blades like this. When it comes to those more detailed tasks, you know, making tent pegs and carving, whittling, all that type of stuff, and then it batons, like we talked about, just as good as any of those other 3/16 inch knives out there on the market about this size. So the chopping, like you've seen, with the original lanyard hole, not good, did not like it, and really kind of disappointing. When you do this quick mod with your paracord, it literally changes everything about this knife and then makes it, in my opinion, one of the better 3/16 inch choppers. Now the SP53 will still chop better just because it's even heavier and it's got that kind of, you know, recurved design, huge belly. So the SP53 will still chop better, but this does just as well as my BK9, as an RTAC, as a Hungalis, any of those other knives when you do the mod. So I really hope that this video has helped you guys out. So thanks so much for watching. It's really up to you guys. Is $350 worth dropping on a GSO 10? Originally, I would have said probably not because of that lanyard itch issue. Now, with switching it, absolutely. I freaking love it, and it's totally worth a purchase if you're looking for a really high-end, good quality, large chopper, and that can also do a lot of detailed stuff really comfortably and really well. GSO 10 might be right up your alley. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching this particular episode of Gideon's Tactical. Please subscribe, comment, like the videos, share the videos, and check out our Facebook page. You can find it on the YouTube homepage at Gideon's Tactical. Like our Facebook page where you'll get updates of upcoming videos, you'll get photos, as well as upcoming gear, new gear releases, you know, that products and companies that are released, as well as behind the scenes footage and bloopers that you'll never see make it to YouTube. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.